This tutorial deals with creating component and assembly drawings using Inventor. We're going to start with the little car here. There we go. So this is like a Year 9 woodwork project. It features 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 11 components. They're basically made up of this piece are all cut from one piece of wood. It features a little housing joint here. There is a hole that is drilled through the, I guess you'd call it the chassis of the vehicle. 2 axles are put in there and then the wheels attached to it. Some little holes drilled here as well, here and here, and then a different piece of wood is used to create the roof, which is probably nailed on, but I haven't modelled the nailing. It seemed no point. Okay, so why would we create a 2D drawing of a 3D object? The purpose is so that somebody can A, make the individual components, and B, after the components have been made, assemble the vehicle. So that should give you a clue as to component drawings and assembly drawings. So the component drawing is used by the person who's literally cutting the wood up, and the assembly drawing is used by the person who's putting it together. These may or may not be the same person, so it's important to take into account. Anyway, to the mechanics of the problem of the tutorial. So we need to click on the Assemble tab, then choose Create. New, like so. It'll take us down to some options we have here. We're going to choose ISO.IDW here. This will allow us to create a A3 drawing here. Okay, so first to the assembly drawing, I think. So we'll click on base here. So by default, because that I've already got that assembly of the car open, it's gone looking for it in my J drive. So we'll say OK and place the car. Right click and choose Create. Okay, so the car is upside down is neither here nor there, but what is here or there and there is that it's too big. So we're going to highlight the base view. The base view is the one that you put down first. These subsequent views here that I clicked and created, they're called projected views. So if we right click on the base view, we can go to Edit View. There are some parameters here that we need to be aware of. Number 1 is that the scale is here. So if we put in 0.5, it'll make it half scale. Also, we have the type of representation of the model. So this is with hidden lines removed by default. We can also have it like so, that shows the hidden lines. Okay, so 2 things obviously happened there. I'll zoom this up a bit for you. So now we can see any cutouts that have occurred. So obviously, like the axles going through this hole here. Looking at it from the back, this is the cutouts for the front window, like that. So that's pretty cool. Still sort of too small now. Okay, so right click it, edit view, change this to 0.75. That's a bit better. I like that. Okay, that looks reasonably balanced on the page. You can use these indicators here to sort of isolate different elements of the drawing. So like here, here, and here. In the case of the assembly drawing, this is probably not so critical, but definitely is when you're dealing with component drawings. Okay, so that's not too bad. We'll go over to annotate here and then begin to dimension the car, won't we? Actually, no, we won't. This is an assembly drawing. It doesn't have dimensions on it. It's important to understand this. It only shows how things go together. Nobody's making this car from this drawing, so only how the components will fit together. So what we do need though is parts list. So we'll click on parts list button, highlight, click on a view, so select view here. I choose this one and then say OK, and then we'll just click it up in the top right hand corner like that. So it lists all the components. This part one here, yeah, well that occurred because I didn't name the part correctly when I was creating it. I suspect that it's probably the chassis here. Okay, so we have a parts list in. We need to label the individual components so that the person putting it together knows which one to use. So we'll click on balloon and then go around. That was a left click, right click to continue. Let's see if this is indeed part one. Yep, see, item one, part one, item three, back upright. And then you would simply go around and, you know, finish off labeling the various items in the drawing. There are other views, but we don't need to worry about those at this stage. That will be for a later video. Okay, so I'm going to right click and hit cancel. Next is a component drawing. This tends to take a little longer, but we shall carry on regardless. So new, again with the ISO.IDW. This time when we click on base, so the base view, we don't actually want the assembly for the Flintstone car. So we'll navigate to its root folder. And again, this is why it's vitally important that you organize your files correctly, because if you've got, if these components weren't in the Flintstone car folder, if they were just in some random location on your H drive, and you hadn't named things properly, you'd be searching through part one and not knowing what it actually belongs to. So it's important to yeah, organize your files properly. So let's choose the part one if I can find it. There we go. So by the thumbnail here you can see that part one is this component. Okay, so we'll just place this one, right click, hit OK. You typically will need at least two views of any object, sometimes three, sometimes sectioned or detail or auxiliary views as well, but like I said, we're not going to worry about that at this stage. So let's create a projected view of this like so, and perhaps one over here. Create. Okay, so this time it's done it with the hidden lines for us, which is great. The purpose of the component drawing, as you may have surmised by now, is to create a drawing that some woodworker or metalworker can actually construct. And they need to know things like the total length of the object. So let's general dimension. Here. So okay, they probably need to know the length of this line, this line. I tend to place these things contiguously, collinearly, so that it makes the drawing look nice. We can dimension this circle here simply by clicking on it. Hopefully. That green dot, you don't want that. Because if you get the green dot, then it does this, and it doesn't show it as a dimension. So we're just going to hit cancel here. dimension as a diameter. Let's try that again. So diameter symbol, that's the one I wanted. Very good. Okay, then similarly to the AutoCAD stuff, we also need to have things besides dimensions. We need to have center marks and center lines sort of where necessary. Oops, getting a bit carried away here. So yeah, so you would dimension the rest of the drawing in order that somebody could actually make it. Be wary of over dimensioning it so that you've got dimensions that are obviously going to be, so for instance, so we've got dimension running here, so if we were to click on this point here, click on this point here, okay, so that's 75, then this guy here, 19, and 62. That means that this dimension here can only be one number. It's 175 minus these other three. And I hope that if I try and put it there, it'll say, no, you can't. No, so you can physically do it, but it's just not good practice, so we'll remove him. Okay, then as far as the rest of the annotations, so we want center marks. Put one there. Alright, so that's basically it. So, and one other thing, of course, there's always one. These are called 3D views, and on neither of these drawings do we show a 3D view. So don't do that. Okay, till next time.